Hello, I'm Casey Clark, NAPEO's President and CEO. Welcome to the latest edition of NAPEO News Studio, where we'll give you a rundown of all the work we've been doing on your behalf in the first quarter of the year. We spent the winter dealing with a flood of PEO impacting legislation in the states. We've been on the ground and active on issues in 20 states so far this year and have hired 14 in-state lobbyists to help us promote and protect the interests of the PEO industry. We've already made a big impact in several key states. In Oregon, thanks to a strong mobilization and advocacy effort, we successfully beat back legislation that would have eliminated the co-employment model in that state. The plan now is to work with the Oregon Workers' Compensation Department to introduce the NAPEO Model Act in 2025. In Delaware, we're making good progress on our efforts to pass legislation ensuring the equitable treatment of small businesses in a PEO relationship under Delaware's new Paid Family and Medical Leave Act. We hired a lobbyist there and are working closely with the bill's sponsor. In Kansas, we successfully supported the passage of a bill that ensures small businesses and residents continue to have access to PEO-sponsored benefits. We've been busy here in Washington as well. In January, Tom Stoller and I were on Capitol Hill the day after the tax extenders package was introduced, using the closure of the ERTC program as a pay-for, and importantly, distinguishing PEOs from the mills. We met with 6 members of the House Ways and Means Committee that day alone, reinforcing the role our industry plays in supporting small business sector. In our conversations with Susan Delbene of Washington, Randy Feenstra of Iowa, Aaron Houchin of Indiana, Claudia Tenney from New York, Mike Thompson from California, and Beth Van Dyne from Texas, we emphasized the need to process valid ERTC claims submitted by PEOs and pushed for support of legislation shielding PEOs from the liability for the payroll tax deductions of our clients. These productive meetings represent only about a quarter of our engagement with congressional offices so far this year, elevating the interests and reputation of the PEO industry. In February, NAPEO discussed the liability issue with the Joint Committee on Tax. This was an important first step in the development of that liability shielding legislation. While getting this language developed, introduced, and passed is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, we're cautiously optimistic that we'll see meaningful progress on this issue in 2025. Why not 2024? Well, election years are historically short of legislating, and this Congress got a head start, enacting a historically low number of bills last year. It goes without saying that we are already in the middle of an unprecedented political cycle. And while this will be a slow time for policy, it's prime time for creating and enhancing relationships with influencers who have the greatest ability to impact your business and our industry. We're going to use this year to raise the profile of and contributions to our bipartisan political action committee and contribute to those who will support the PEO industry and enable our growth. If you'd like more information on how you can support the industry's future through our PAC, please reach out to Tom Stoller. Beyond our government affairs work, one of our other priorities is getting more of you, our members, involved and active with NAPEO. If you're watching this, the chances are that you're already active. But there are plenty of ways to get more out of your NAPEO membership. Here are 3. First, make sure you've set up your account in the NAPEO member portal. Every employee of a NAPEO member company, regardless of position, is eligible to create an account and participate in NAPEO. You can find instructions on how to set up your account at the web address you see on the screen. Setting up your NAPEO account will give you access to our extensive member-only resources and will ensure that you're notified about our events, webinars, and other opportunities for involvement. Second, spend some time on NAPEO.org. The PEO resources section lists everything available to you as a member. The events calendar has all the information about upcoming in-person and virtual events and easy ways to register. A third way you can get more out of your company's investment in NAPEO is to join one of our committees and working groups. Many of these groups align with the professional practice areas of a PEO, like payroll, finance, and marketing. They allow you to network and connect with others in the industry who are facing the same opportunities and challenges. You can find a list of these groups at napeo.org/committees. If you have any questions, please reach out to Andrea Desmond, our Director of Member Engagement, who can make sure that you're making the most of your NAPEO membership. Before we sign off, here are a few in case you missed it on the communication and marketing front. The results are in from our annual survey of 500 small and mid-sized business owners and decision makers. Here are a few key findings. Since we started conducting this survey in 2018, industry awareness is up by 30% and PEO usage has doubled. PEO clients are almost 40% more likely than non-PEO clients to report that their business grew last year. Lastly, National PEO Week begins May 19th. We hope that all of you will join us in celebrating our great industry. To help you do that, we've created a robust toolkit of National PEO Week resources and designed some great merch, which I encourage you to check out in the National PEO Week store. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us for this edition of NAPEO News Studio. We'll see you next quarter with more updates on the work we're doing on your behalf.